Hey everybody, Jason and John here, Everyday Crypto, CryptoTaxShield.com. Welcome to the family if you're new, and if you're not, we're in for a pretty good episode today. I've got first of all, Jason, thanks for being here for yet another one of these.
John, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. No, I mean there is this doesn't exist without you. So this is me picking your brain. My question today is going to be a little selfish because I saw some stuff and I want to get your take on it and kind of give us the expert's view of what's going on. I saw that Olympus DAO over the past few days dropped by 50%. Looks like some people in the industry are freaking out a little bit. So I wanted to kind of get you in a corner and kind of pick your brain on that and kind of let you loose and see what you think.
What a great topic for today. It's cool. Funny you brought that up. I've had at least 10 emails or text messages or phone calls in regards to this exact topic.
Right.
So Olympus DAO, Time Wonderland, detracted. These are DAOs, mm-hmm. Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, and they're all very tied to one another.
Gotcha. They
were the hottest thing a month ago, right? And they're super great projects. Like they are legitimate, great projects, long-term vision.
Sure.
What DAO in general does is it accumulates a massive fund, and then based off the voting of the coin holders, they decide what they're going to do with this fund. And usually it involves other projects in crypto. So these DAOs get very big and they have a lot of power. And all three of them crashed real hard the last few days. And retail investors are freaking out. But I like to use this opportunity to show you the difference between how a pro would think about it and how an amateur would think about it, right?
Oh, perfect. That'd be great.
So the amateur sees the crash. Yes, yeah. Amateur sees the crash and wants to sell because they don't want to get caught holding the bags when they go to zero.
Right.
The pro hears the news. Yeah, the pro hears the news, and he does some homework. Right. Like, why is it crashing? That's the number one answer. Has anything changed?
Right.
But just with a little bit of homework, really, you were able to find out that it was just one whale who was taking profit out of Olympus, and there was tons of leverage on Olympus DAO. And that caused a cascade of liquidations that crashed Olympus DAO, Time Wonderland, because they're connected. They own one another. Like they are connected.
Right.
So once you know that's all that happened, then really you see it as a massive buying opportunity.
Right.
Because it's the same product. It's the same product it was a month ago. Nothing has changed.
Right.
So if you're bullish on it then, you should be bullish on it now.
Right.
More so because it's half the price.
Sure.
And that's the difference between an amateur and a pro and how they see things.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. So it really is about perspective, right? And we've talked about this in previous episodes. Retail psychology and sort of FOMO and sort of being able to have some what I call emotional maturity when it comes to these types of businesses. That taking a hit doesn't have to be taking a hit. It can be an open door for opportunity.
There was this really cool saying that came out in crypto about, I think it was last week. I forget who said it. I wish I could remember. It was on his Twitter page, but he said something like this. He said, and he's referring to Bitcoin.
Right. He
said, if you're bullish last year,
mm-hmm.
and if you're bullish 4 months ago, and if you're bullish all the way down, the last 3 months has been a correction. If you've been bullish the whole way down, and now all of a sudden you're bearish, you probably shouldn't be in the market.
That's right.
Right? Like you've waited to be at the bottom to be bearish. Like you could have been bearish the whole time down.
That's right.
But now we've hit the bottom. You're like, oh, this is all going down.
Right.
So they were saying it in humor, but really what they were doing is they were reflecting the retail mindset.
Right.
And they're just kind of poking fun at it, but it's all in good fun, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, but what you said earlier really struck a chord with me, which is how an amateur would look at it versus a pro, right? So one of the things we're hoping to do with these little short videos is to bring people from that day 101 class to the graduate level, right? So I think that's important, and it is about perspective, and it's also about, like you just said, doing your homework. When something sort of happens that you don't like, find out if it's a legit thing or if it's simply just a whale taking some profit out. That's and that can help determine what your next move is.
I mean, night and day, right? You go from, oh my God, I got to sell this, it's worthless, to, oh my God, this is a buying opportunity, I should buy some. Like, there's no middle ground there, right?
Well, and that's part of the doom and gloom, right? Because like if you follow any trend, whether it's stock market, crypto, just life in general, things move this way, right? I don't know why people, when it's down here, they don't assume it's always going to go back up to here at some point.
Right. Yeah, it comes down to conviction, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And just holding a position is advisable in terms, in times when it gets volatile like that in anything, so awesome. Yeah, cool. This is great info. And it is interesting. And I'm learning now as I go how one thing can be connected to the rest, right? So Olympus DAO having all these other ones that are sort of attached to it is kind of interesting too, and how one little thing can trickle down and cascade down, like you said. So, yeah, I'm learning a ton. Yeah,
I'll give you a good example, John.
Yeah,
just the three biggest companies in the world, right? So you got Facebook, Tesla, and Amazon.
Right.
If you go back and follow their graphs in their early days, massive corrections, like 90% corrections, right. Things that are massive and scary if you're in the market. But now look at them, right? So at the time, maybe you were like, oh my God, my portfolio is being demolished. But really, if you were able to span out on that graph and see that, oh, this is just a correction and a buying opportunity,
right? Because
this thing's going straight to the moon from here, right?
Yep.
All those companies have these graphs. It's very common. I think you got to be willing to endure that in crypto, because that's where we are. We're super early. There's going to be tons of volatility. Yep. But with that volatility comes tons of opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. Got to make smart moves. And it all ties into our message that we always sort of, we come back to in terms of crypto tax shield. Just keep your head about you. Be smart when you're playing in any industry that you can make money in, but then work to keep as much of it as possible. So great information today, man. This is good stuff. I was freaking out a little bit too. I was one of those people. I wasn't making a move, but I'm like, I'll talk to Jason first, and see what he advises. Yeah. But it's sage advice. It really is. So I hope everybody who hears this takes a breath and kind of realizes that it is an opportunity. Absolutely. Jason, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate you taking some time today.
John, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. All right. We'll talk again soon.